What is going on, everyone? Welcome into Big Time Football Talk. So I got a big episode, Mel Kiper's Mock 2.0. So we're gonna get into some of his top picks, his top 10. So this one was very interesting. We're also gonna break down Colin Cowherd and Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. It's interesting in the sense they both had Kyle Pitts going to the Jets. In this case, Kiper had him trading back to 4 and taking and the Jets taking Pitts at 4, and then Colin Cowherd and Daniel Jeremiah had him going number 2 to the Jets. Lawrence at the top, no surprise. I think one of the craziest things, though, if you think about it, would be if the Jaguars didn't take Trevor Lawrence. I think that would just be. People would be really shocked and surprised by that. I think that'd be absolutely crazy. Number 2, the Atlanta Falcons going Zach Wilson at quarterback. To me, I don't know if I really see this. I think you want to roll with Matt Ryan for a little bit longer. Still only 35 years old, which which you've seen with Tom Brady is younger for quarterbacks these days. But Zach Wilson. Is the more tape I watch him, the more he's grown on me. Some of the throws he make, rolling out to his left, rolling out to his right, changing his different arm angles. Zach Wilson has really grown on me, but thing is, I still like Justin Fields. Justin Fields is the number 2 quarterback prospect on the big board. And Mel Kiper, even despite, Atlanta going Zach Wilson here, he still has Justin Fields number 2 on his big board. So kind of read through the rest of them. The Miami Dolphins, Devontae Smith, wide receiver from Alabama. Number 4, Kyle Pitts, the New York Jets. Number 5, the Cincinnati Bengals, Penei Sewell, offensive tackle from Oregon. Thing about Sewell is, the more tape I've watched on him, I think he's, almost a better, run blocker, could play, almost like a guard. If the Jets take, or if the Jets or Bengals take him, could move him and play some guard. He could be a heck of a run stuffing guard. Number 6, Jamar Chase to the Eagles. Number 7, 49ers, Justin Fields. I think that's a dream scenario for the 49ers because Fields, if he goes somewhere with good coaching, that is just that is so optimal for him because I think Fields has got some things to work on and improve. And, I think that would, combine him with Kyle Shanahan in that offense and a defense that is, loaded. Carolina Panthers, Mac Jones. The New England Patriots, Trey Lance. And number 10, the Dallas Cowboys, Patrick Surtain, corner. So, Mac Jones. Mac Jones is just – it seems like he keeps kind of just creeping back up and – the thing is, this year you did just not see Mac Jones under pressure a lot. That Alabama offensive line kept him upright. So, I go back to the Auburn game where there was some pressure on him last year, and, he did pretty well. Threw a couple interceptions. I think one of them wasn't really his fault, but, had played pretty well, under pressure. That was kind of like the one gauge you got under pressure. Because, this year there was just hardly any times there was pressure on Mac Jones. And, his style of quarterback play is becoming, obsolete. And, there'll be people, Tom Brady, Drew Brees weren't Super Bowl guys, but those are such rare cases. For every one of those guys that succeeded, there's been a bunch of guys that haven't. It's kind of like, it's like the NBA with, LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Yeah, those guys – well, not Michael Jordan, LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. Yeah, those guys didn't go to college and had a lot of success in the NBA. But for every one of those guys, there was a bunch of other guys that, skipped college and went to the NBA and, fizzled out and did nothing. So, there's exceptions to the rules, obviously. And, if you're for Mac Jones, if you're going to come in the NFL with not a lot of mobility, everything else, has to be spot on. You have to be a film junkie. You have to be a competitor. You have to have, just precise accuracy. Everything else has to be, flawless kind of to make up for it. And that's what I like about Justin Fields. He seems to be, one of the best improvisers in this draft. And, Mel Kiper made the point, Justin Fields reminds me a lot of Justin Herbert. So similar prospect. Because the thing is, they didn't necessarily make a lot of anticipatory throws in college, but, that's something they can fix in the NFL. I always say that you can't, Fields' size, arm strength, you know, superior athleticism. You can't coach those things, but with good coaching, you can fix some of the minor flaws. With Mac Jones, you can't coach him to become bigger and I guess maybe you could bulk him up a little bit, but you can't coach him to be more athletic and you can't coach him to become faster, a 4.4, 4.5 guy. That's never what Mac Jones is going to be. Let's be honest. Who knows what he runs in the 40, but he's not a guy that's going to be, or defenses are going to have to worry about his scrambling ability. Unless he gets a heck of a lot faster, but I don't really see that happening. Trey Lance to New England. I don't know if I'm as high on Trey Lance as some people. Some people are, some people are thinking Trey Lance could be, Russell Wilson. You hear that comparison every year. I think Kyler Murray is the only guy they've compared to, Russell Wilson that it's actually been, somewhat accurate. But yeah, I could see, Trey Lance excelling with the New England Patriots. I think he's a guy that, could come in and, compete and probably could play right away next year. I don't really see Jarrett Stidham as much of a threat, but yeah. Cowboys, Patrick Surtain. It's him, Caleb Farley, who's the best corner in the draft. I think, Patrick Surtain, probably got the slight edge for me. Surtain is a guy that has, bottom line, he's developed quite the the skill set and become so fundamentally sound because of just so many reps and practice, and working with Nick Saban has really got him to develop, and he's probably one of the more finished products regardless of position of any player in this draft. So yeah, but yeah, it's going to round out the top 10 for Mel Kiper's mock draft 2.0. Yeah. So, but yeah, I don't have a problem with any of these picks. Jamar Chase to the Eagles. The Eagles is kind of like one thing. This is just, if you go wide receiver again, Jalen Reagor still, with injury. I'm not writing Jalen Reagor off. I think he had some. I think he's still a talented kid. But if you double down on a receiver like this, you just gotta hope that Jamar Chase is that guy, and you get another weapon for Jalen Hurts to kind of roll with next year. Could be his team moving forward, kind of depending on how he plays. He has a great opportunity in front of him. But yeah, Kyle Pitts to the New York Jets. With Travis Kelce and Darren Waller and a lot of the tight ends that are, Mark Andrews, I get a little bit. A lot of these guys are having so much success at tight end. It's really making the tight end position more and more valuable. But, it's one of those things that scares me, especially being a Lions fan, because, TJ Hawkinson looks like he's becoming a good player. But, at the time, taking him in the top 10, and, Ebron didn't really pan out to be a top 10 tight end pick. So, I'm a little leery of taking a top 10 or tight end in the top 10, but Mel Kiper said he's the highest graded tight end he's had, and I don't know if he said ever, but in years. A lot of people sent top graded tight end since Kellen Winslow. And Pitts has a chance to be great, and you pair him with Sam Darnold, and he could has a potential to do some great things, because that's really the thing. It appears to be, that's the rumor, that the Jets want to stick with Sam Darnold. So there's really two kind of strategies, that I've kind of, this is kind of my theory, that if you're going to roll with if you like the quarterback you have now, you either do, then you just keep drafting pieces even if you're bad until you kind of resolve that. Or if you don't like, or if you want to go option 2 and just try to find that elite, trying to find that elite quarterback until you get it, then you can try to build there. But I've hammered the Jacksonville strategy. Blake Bortles, they were like, I don't think they were a super believer, but you know what? We'll go get Miles Jack, Telvin Smith, Jalen Ramsey. We'll just keep loading. We'll just keep drafting studs in the top 5 to 10. And maybe that's going to be the New York Jets strategy. You know what? Instead of keep trying to get that elite quarterback, maybe let's just keep fixing other problems. We'll get Kyle Pitts. Maybe we'll add another defense, try to get another defensive stud this year, and you keep just putting pieces around Darnold until, Darnold is successful because you got so much talent around him. Last year, Denzel Mims, showed a little bit. Next year, give him a chance in year 2 to see if he can really come around and further develop. Kyle, and with having Kyle Pitts as his partner in crime. So, yeah, we'll kind of see what the Jets want to do here. Like I said, they're one of the most interesting teams in this draft. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they want to do moving forward. So we'll get to Colin Cowherd and Daniel Jeremiah's mock draft. They did this yesterday on the Herd. I thought it was interesting. I don't know. I think that some of the picks are kind of probably not going to be very accurate because both of them were they're kind of alternating making the picks. So, but I thought some of the picks were interesting. So I'll get to it. So first they have Trevor Lawrence going to the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they just said that was kind of locked into place. They didn't really want to elaborate more on that. So number 2, they had the Jets taking Kyle Pitts. See, they do these drafts without trades. Mel Kiper's was the first one he did without trades, and this just seems so far-fetched, really, that the Jets would stay at 2 and take Kyle Pitts because if you look, like I said, the draft is kind of becoming so reserved for, edge rusher and quarterback in the top 3 positions. If you're not getting one of those 2 guys, you're likely want to trade out. But, in this case, without trades, they agreed with, in Mel Kiper's case that, Kyle Pitts getting an elite playmaker, a go-to guy, and to help out Sam Darnold seemed to, make the most sense. So, number 3, Dolphins, Jamar Chase. 4, the Falcons, Micah Parsons, linebacker. Number 5, the Bengals, Rashawn Slater. Okay, so this is interesting. Rashawn Slater is a guy that is just, skyrocketed up of draft boards, and I think that tape versus Chase Young gets everyone's attention. He did a tremendous job blocking Chase Young. And the thing is, if you can block Chase Young, you can just block about anyone in the NFL because Chase Young, after his dominant rookie season, is one of the best defensive ends in the National Football League. So I think that's a very notable pick. Number 6, the Eagles taking Jalen Waddle. And if you're Philadelphia, you want to go receiver. I think you've got to be pretty confident that you're going to get Jamar Chase, Waddle, or Devontae Smith at 6 here. It's likely that, one of those 3 guys, if not, 2 out of the 3, 3 out of 3 best case is going to be there. And, he's got them, this is similar to Mel Kiper. He's got them doubled down at receiver. It's kind of like, yeah, if you're, to reiterate my point, if you're going to roll out with Hurts, you might as well just get you the best wide receiver. Broncos at 9 taking Caleb Farley. I love Caleb Farley. I think he has such a high ceiling in this draft. It's going to be, him, Patrick Surtain. But, Caleb Farley has just such tremendous ball skills. He's one of the best man-to-man cover corners. And I'm so curious to see what he runs because if he clocks in the 4.3s, that is just going to be absolutely huge. It just shows that he is just going to have a high ceiling. It's still a little bit raw. Still needs to, with coaching, he could, kind of clear up some things. Could improve in zone coverage. Could improve as a tackler. But, yeah, we'll see. We'll see Caleb Farley. He's a guy that I'm just so anxious to watch in the NFL. And, these guys that have opted out, I'm so anxious to watch again because, this year I wanted to see more. They kind of just really left you on the edge of your seat eating popcorn, just, leaving you wanting to, see the next chapter, if you will. Have the Giants, Penei Sewell slipping down to the Giants. I think this pick makes sense. The Giants are a team that need help in a lot of different positions. So Andrew Thomas had kind of a shaky year. So Sewell, you can come in if you want to play him at tackle, play him at guard, like I said. So and then 49ers have the 49ers taking Trey Lance, getting a quarterback also. So it makes sense to me. Kyle Shanahan. I'm if you're the 49ers, I'm confident with Kyle Shanahan's coaching, whatever quarterback you pick. This is, even though I'm not as high on Mac Jones, NFL, I wouldn't even hate the 49ers taking Mac Jones. That's how confident I am in Kyle Shanahan's ability to whatever quarterback they bring in to coach. So LA Chargers, Elijah Vera Tucker, one of the best, another top lineman in this draft. He's a very talented guy that could play tackle, could play guard, has the ability to run block, pass block. So pick that makes a lot of sense. Number 14, the Vikings taking Gregory Rousseau. Rousseau is a guy that has some things he could work on, but a guy that changed positions when he got to Miami was like a receiver in high school, and the bottom line was just very productive at Miami, and chose to opt out this year. But yeah, I think Mike Zimmer is one of the better defensive coaches. We'll see what he can do with Rousseau, a big 6'6", 6'7" edge rusher. The Vikings, they love bringing in the studs on the defensive side of the ball, and we'll see if they can work their magic and get Rousseau developed and getting even better and better. Devontae Smith slipping to the New England Patriots. I think he'll be a chess piece that Bill Belichick will have fun using. I think this pick makes a lot of sense because the Patriots wide receiver has been a position that they've tried to address but haven't really kind of taken that elite. Haven't really got that elite guy yet. So, Devontae Smith, the pick at 15 makes a lot of sense, and I think it's a pick that could really help this football team a lot, whoever plays quarterback for New England next year. So, number 16, the Arizona Cardinals, Kwity Paye from Michigan. The more and more I've watched of Kwity Paye, the more I like of him. He really is a disruptive player, and that term can be thrown out a lot, but Kwity Paye is, especially in the run game, was very disruptive for Michigan, especially in 2019. Played just 4 games last year in 2020, but yeah, I like what I've seen from Kwity Paye. He's got to develop some of his pass rush skills, but other than that, he could become a pretty good player in the NFL, a solid starter. So yeah, Russell Wilson. I'll touch on that trade a little bit, her potential trade. So it was interesting that Seattle kind of already had 3 first-round picks in mind for him, and it's kind of interesting that he said he would have not. He hasn't officially requested a trade from Seattle, but has made some teams that he's announced some teams that he's interested in. Saints and Bears being some of the notable ones. It'd be interesting to see when Russell Wilson and Sean Payton's offense. I think that would be. I think that have potential to really have a elite offense. I think the Chicago Bears. The Bears are an interesting team. They're a team that you would just love to see them get an elite quarterback like Russell Wilson with to complement that defense. And if you get Russell Wilson, I kind of said maybe move off of Allen Robinson. If you get Russell Wilson, maybe keep franchise tag Allen Robinson or pay him and see what happens. But yeah, it's interesting. Russell Wilson is kind of speaking out more, but Seattle's had such a problem because every year they're good enough to make the playoffs and pick later in the draft, and they haven't really hit big on any of these picks. And Russell Wilson, they had to pay for him after he won the Super Bowl, and it's kind of hurt their ability to bring in a lot of superstar talent. And a couple years of just very poor offensive line play by Seattle. But yeah, now Russell Wilson, Seattle has a chance to get a big payout for him as far as draft picks, and that's the same with Watson. So you're kind of weighing your options. If you're Seattle, 3 first-round picks, you could potentially have a chance to move up and get another elite quarterback or get another guy. Get another elite player at whatever position. Still have Jamal Adams at safety. And this year, yeah, they're without the first round pick because of the Jamal Adams trade. So Yeah, it'll be interesting there. But thank you guys for tuning in to this episode. That's all I have for you today. And stay tuned for more episodes and clips from the show. Till next time, peace.